Hi. So I have a question for you. When people come to you and they say nice things to you about work that you've done or accomplishments that you've made, how does that make you feel? Do you feel pretty good? Not that you get braggadocious or anything, but do you feel good? Does it make you feel good when people say nice things about you? Or would you rather that someone comes up and says, well, that's okay, but so and so is better, or I like so and so much better than you, or something like that? Does that motivate you? Is that the kind of thing that you need in order to, make yourself better or make yourself feel good? Zig Ziglar, one of my favorite motivational guys of all time, used to say that negative, let's see, positive motivation won't make you do anything better, but it will always make you do anything better than negative motivation. And I tend to agree with that because I see people all the time who are just kind of going along and, their world doesn't seem to be offering them anything and it's kind of a malaise. And yet, I find that if you can find something nice to say to them or about them, they perk up a little. And I have used that technique for years. And the thing is, you can't just make something up out of nowhere. I'm sure there's a lot of people who've seen that Geico commercial that's out there now where Pinocchio is talking about, he's the motivational speaker and he's trying to tell people what they can do, and he tells this guy, and you could be great, and his nose starts to grow because everybody knows that the guy is lying. Well, you can't really make that stuff up. I mean, people can tell phonies. At least most people can. There are some narcissistic folk out there who think that, life is all about them, but that's not the majority. So, Carol Burnett used to use this as a technique where she would, see people who are in a bad mood and she would find something about them and say something nice. And it always, made people feel better. And, when you're in a leadership position, there's a lot of people who say, well, why should I have to motivate employees because we pay them, they've got a job, they cannot go home and eat, and they can do all this other kind of stuff. And money is never the whole thing. Zig Ziglar, let's bring him up again. We used to get asked that question all the time. Well, Zig, why are you always talking about motivation? Shouldn't people just motivate themselves? And motivation doesn't stick. And he used to say, well, you eat every day, don't you? You probably eat 3 times a day. You get up and you bathe every day. You take a shower. You put on clean clothes. Why are you doing that? You're just going to get them dirty at the end of the day. It's always a constant kind of thing, this positive motivation thing. And I always think that that's, like I said, I think it's a better way of going. If you've got people who are working for you, do you really think it works better to say, if you don't get all that work done by 4 o'clock, I'm going to write you up? That doesn't impress anybody. If it makes anything happen, they may get it done, but they may get it done wrong because you've just basically told them the only thing you care about is getting the work done. You don't care whether it's right or whether it's correct or whether it's going to be, as perfect as it can be. All you want is numbers. One of the things that my background, healthcare finance, one of the things that they used to talk about is count sheets. And actually, they still talk about count sheets. How many claims a day should people be getting out? How many collection calls a day should people be making? My response has always been the same. Well, it depends on whether you want results or you just want numbers. That's just how life works. Yes, there are times like production lines. If you've got bottles of soda that you're trying to put out, you have to put out so many per hour and per day, especially if you're popular, because you've got a market out there, all these people who want that. That works out fine. But if you want results in other ways, the idea of positive motivation just always works better. No one wins a championship and then has someone, well, okay, in today's world this does happen where you win a championship. Well, what are you going to do next year? Oh, please, let's just have some, fun that we won this championship now. When the Heat won last year, can they three-peat? Well, obviously they couldn't, but does that mean that they're not a good team anymore? And now, what about the Spurs? Well, the Spurs have won. I guess they got to bust up their team because they're all old. My goodness. I mean, where is the positive motivation in that? No one gets to enjoy being number one or succeeding anymore. And I don't like the negative thing. I really just don't. I don't think that it works well. I think that there are some people who think that they can bully their way through that, through negative motivation. I think they're fooling themselves. But like I said, that's my opinion. Let me know what your thoughts are on this. Would you rather someone give you positive motivation, or would you rather people just kind of beat you up and force you to try to be better? There's nothing wrong with someone building you, telling you to be better, but wouldn't you like a little positive every once in a while? I'm thinking so. Let me know. Y'all take care. This is 19 in a row. We have 11 more to go. You take care.